After what was a pretty weak, blowout-filled, crappy game-filled Sunday, Monday brightened my day. I was really excited to watch this game for some reason, more so than most games that don't involve my team. And I couldn't tell you why. But, this was something special. If you got to see this game all the way to the end, you did see another entry into the Brett Favre lore of great plays and great games. Trust me, you did. Both defenses were playing pretty well. And when these offenses get into the red zone, they struggle so much. There are penalties and turnovers, and they can't run the ball. And settling for 3 when you should get 7. It happens so many times. I still am a big fan of Jay Cutler. I think he's going to be great in this league, and he's showing me why in many of these Denver games this year. He's not perfect, but he's been playing some solid football. Brandon Marshall, man, that guy reminds me of T.O. I think he's going to be the next T.O., the big receiver that breaks tackles and runs through people. That's what I think he's going to be. This Denver team still can't stop the run, and like I said, if you can't stop the run, you're going to be helpless in this league. Now they can't run the ball against admittedly a good defense, but Selvin Young, until he got that one carry near the end of the game, couldn't do anything, pretty much. He was getting stuffed for so many losses, it was kind of pathetic. Again, behind this Denver line, you should be able to do decently. I don't care who you are. And, I thought Denver was going to have a cornerback group for the ages this year with Bailey and Bly, and last night we saw why I was wrong, because they got toasted on 2 separate plays that were pretty much the difference in the game. After Denver scored that first touchdown, I was thinking, okay, Denver's gonna... I knew I should have picked Denver, They're going to run away with this game now. I didn't like what I was seeing out of Green Bay. They were trying to pass the ball against a great pass defense, weren't running the ball, didn't show signs of being able to run the ball, and it was just like, here comes Denver, and then Champ Bailey got burned by a backup wide receiver on a go route, just a straight go route, nothing fancy about it. And then in overtime, Denver has momentum, they have the home crowd. Dre Bly gets run right past by Greg Jennings, who's not a great receiver by any stretch of the imagination. He's a good one, but he's not great. Story of the Denver Broncos season. Actually, the real story of the Denver Broncos season was when they drove down to the 1 and fumbled. They get the yards, but they can't get the points. Packers, huge win for them, and believe me, that overtime touchdown pass, that goes somewhere in the Brett Favre saga of great memories. The Super Bowl win, 400 yards against Oakland, the touchdown against Minnesota in overtime, all that stuff. It's going to go down because that was special, and it took me a while to realize how special it was. And, Green Bay did establish a running game. This Grant guy, Ronald Grant, I can't remember his name, but he had 100 yards. He broke off some big carries. I was impressed. We'll see if he can keep it up. I mean, Deshaun Wynn had that big game against Chicago a couple weeks ago. He couldn't keep it up. Let's see. And, after 2 weeks ago, people were questioning Brett Favre's arm strength, saying he had lost it because he kept underthrowing receivers against the Redskins. And so much for that, am I right? And Atari Bigby, I heard you were good. You could have fooled me. I don't know, this strong safety I think he is for the Green Bay Packers, if he wasn't committing a penalty last night, he was giving up a play. He's a number 20. He's got them dreads like Al Harris, so I keep getting him and Harris confused, but I'm positive that was him making some critical mistakes for the Packers last night. That defense is really good. I might even talk more about them in a video this week, but we can't have weak spots on a good defense, because if you have one really weak spot on your defense, teams are going to exploit that all day. It doesn't really matter how good the rest of the team is. It's hard to overcome a glaring weak spot. Okay, that's really all I got to say about this week. I know I went out longer than I wanted, but I got caught up in talking about New England because I feel strongly about that, and I don't want to back down from these people who are calling me out on it. Like I said, there's going to be a mock draft next week. Hold on a second. Sorry, I live with people.